Hey yo, what's up everybody? My name is Gamie and y'all join me as I unveil my views. I kind of like open the back door. Y'all come in, see what my life looks like, okay? This is it, X2D, exclusive to Divinity.
My phone won't let me be. This device was devised to keep me addicted. Loving everything it serves me, the good, the bad, the ugly, even the beautiful, I embrace it all without scrutiny. I'm caught in between real life made a fantasy and fantasy made real.
So Gamie is a multifaceted artist. I kind of have my hands in quite a lot of things. I'm first a rapper, then a singer, then a spoken word poet. Now, that aside, I'm also a music producer and a creative director. Okay, so I'm multifaceted because on a good day, I'm an artist. So everything that I do is tied to being an artist. So if I'm in a classroom teaching, because I love to work with kids and stuff, I'll be teaching something that's art related, helping people to find their talent, helping people to project their voices and stuff. So that's kind of like what Gamie is like.
So I make excuses for the late nights, addicted to the screen lights, clicking my way through, hoping I get closer to the same people I get away from in real life.
I'm single, because I know if you're not married, you're single. So I'm single. Hopefully I'll be getting married soon. And that's what I have to say about that. Okay, what growing up was like for me. Growing up was fun, was interesting. I was like the black sheep of the family. It was the only word I can use to describe this is crazy, okay? I was really stubborn, like really stubborn. Mommy says don't go out, and she locks the door. There's this iron bars she put in place, and I am the one who would stick my head out of the iron bars and twist my body, and you know, I'm out of the house. And it was always like that. And then I grew up, my family we're 6. I have 5 other siblings. We're 3 boys, 3 girls, pretty balanced. You know, the normal stuff, go to school. I was in science class in secondary school. I read computer science in the university, and I just knew that I wasn't going to do much with computer science, so I already knew I was going to do music, because while in school I was already going to the studio to record stuff and all that. So it's been an interesting life for me, really. Coming up from that kind of family, we love each other, and you know, mommy taught us to trust God, to pray. Church was our thing, so it became our thing. And at a point in my life, I was just a church boy. You know, all through my teenage years, I think I didn't have any other passion except for just going to church. You catch me in church Monday to Sunday. I'm at church. You know, I was almost a nuisance at church because I was always playing the drums loud. Those are the days when I had to learn how to play the drums and stuff. But on a typical day in my house, okay, growing up, my chores looked like I was to take care of the compound. I was to sweep the whole compound, make sure that it's neat, and I'm supposed to wash the toilet. And my family is not like the type that you have to wash the toilet every Saturday. Mine was every day. So that was my job. And on Saturdays, I was supposed to clean up the bathroom. It was separated, not like some houses where you have it together. So I was supposed to do that. Aside that, other chores were like make sure mommy's shoes are clean, make sure daddy's shoes are clean when he wants to go out, make sure you wash daddy's clothes, and then play football. Football was the in thing. If you weren't playing football, I mean, at the point in my life, I thought I was going to be a footballer, so I played football that much. It was pretty awesome.
The tears of our fathers wrongfully accused, see the wounds of our daughters molested and abused. I see the agony, I hear the cries, the sacrifice will make.
Family is great. Like family's great. My family's together. My siblings, we all keep in touch. Mostly about, okay, I said we're 6. So 3 are married, the other 3 are not. So I'm kind of like in the camp of the other 3 for now. So it's fine, you know, we keep in touch. We come together from time to time, you know. It's a pretty cool family. We don't really, I think we're just really awesome people living our lives and supportive. We support one another, and that just makes it really what family should be like. So that's it.
Those keys. I got blood in my hand, but I'm justified. In love with a man that was crucified, cause I'm in his hands and clean, I'm sanctified.
Growing up helped shape my voice, helped make me, molded me into somebody who, regardless of what people say or think, I will say what I feel deep within me. Now, I'm not saying it because I want to gain attention and stuff. No, I'm saying it because it's true, and I found it to be true, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. You know, the truth is not so popular these days because people are looking over their shoulders, like who's watching, I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes and stuff and all of that. But I think growing up, like I said earlier, that my family, you've got to stand your ground, you've got to, you know, express, you know. So that taught me to always man up, speak up, and you know, so in today's in these times, there's a lot going on, and you cannot sit on the fence anymore. So you have to come out. Black is black, white is white. I'm that type of person. I will not tell you that it looks some way when it doesn't. So I think growing up in such a family kind of like put that into me, like imbibed such qualities into me. Secondary school was fun. It was great. I loved football, so I always looked forward to break time and football. We would. I went to a public school, a government school, and we had class A, class B, class C. It was big. Like you have class M, like JS1. There's A, there's B, there's C, there's up to M, Q, P, whatever. And then we would have these football competitions with one another, and one person is to emerge winner. At the end of the day, nobody emerges a winner because we will always fight. Or those in the senior classes would always come to take our ball from us. I was the stubborn type. When I got into SS1, my elder brother was in SS3. So I felt like nobody could touch me. Like, yo, man, my brother is in SS3, I'm in SS1, nobody can touch me, you know, that kind of thing. So I didn't know that the SS2 guys then knew me, like they knew me like I was always like that. I would always come to school late and stuff like that. So there was this day when I got to SS2 and the guys were in SS3. My brother had passed out. So it was the last day of their exam and I was set up. I was set up real bad. Like, okay, so earlier, one of the SS3 guys had come to get this. There's this book we used to have back in the day, Key Point. If you remember that book, yes. So he had come to borrow my key point. He wanted to use it. Obviously, wanted to use it for the exam and stuff. So after their exam, I went in search of him. Like I wanted to retrieve my book back. And so I got into their hall. You know, all this secondary school where it looks like a poultry farm. One class enters the next class. There's like you can scale the fence out of the class, you know, that kind of thing. It was just really crazy. So I got into the class and the head boy was like, hey, you come here. I went to him and he was like, okay, pick up this locker, take it to the staff room. I was like, I can't. So I thought, you know, in normal situation, explain myself like, yo, there's this guy, he collected my key point, I'm looking for him, I want to get my key point back. And I thought, you know, he just would be a reasonable guy and let me go. And I said, no, I should carry the locker down to the staff room, obey before complain. They used to say that a lot back in the day. So I was like, yo, I just told you this. I need to find this guy. He's not going to leave with my key point and stuff. So they said I should carry it. I said, lie, me. I will not carry this thing. So that's how people started gathering. SS2 students came. I was quite popular in school because I used to play football, and my hair has always been much. So they used to call me old school lape, bola. Those are the things they used to call me in school. So started going back and forth. Carry this locker. No, I'll not carry this locker. Carry this locker. No, I'll not carry this locker. So next thing, they gathered me. They beat Jesus. I could like pick out marks on my face, like marks from the palms of different people, like beating me, like telling me I had to pick up the locker and stuff. And I said I wasn't going to pick up the locker, and I didn't pick up the locker. Hey, I'm just a sorry case. And so that started a big fight because other guys came to meet me later on, and one guy said, you know, nígbà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀, sórí ẹnìkan gbá mi létí o, so mo ti sọ fún ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan. And you know that back then, from one secondary school, they told the brother in another secondary school, so that one said he's going to bring people to come and fight in the secondary school. So they came to me and said that they're going to give me approval. And I was like, I mean, I was in SS2 going to SS3. What did I know? You guys go and fight. So they fought, but I was home. Secondary school it was just mischievous. I got into such stuffs every now and then. Whenever the like SS3 guys want to like seize our ball. That's the term we used to use. Like, we're playing football and they say that this is where they want to play the football. And I'm like, I was the one with the sharpest mouth. So I'll be like, I lie, you can't collect our ball, blah blah blah. And then they will beat me and tear my clothes and send me home. It was like that. That's pretty much. I got into stuff like that, but I was gentle. I just happened to be in unfortunate situations, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, university, I was pretty much cool-headed in the university. I was just this guy who wanted to have good grades, and I wasn't having a nice time doing that. Oh my God, Lasso. So I was gentle, tried to be good, and always was praying that I would do well in school. You know, that was just my main goal. I had good friends in school. I was quite good at it, the whole computer science thing, even though I wasn't like convinced that I was going to like work in 9 to 5 after school, you know, but I did pretty good, and it was interesting. Nowadays, I can just think back and think about all the knowledge I have access to, and I can kind of attribute it to the fact that I studied computer science, Lagos State University. I give it to you. You can strengthen a man. That kind of thing.
Like a butterfly, see I'm super fly like a bird, like a plane, I'ma rule the sky so clean. I'm on the vow, leave for the Lord, I can't do without. Hallelujah, we magnify, we praise, we pray, we get replies. In times of need, we get supplies. The devil lies.
I started music, let's say, about 15 years ago.
They're talking about my elevation. Back then and now they asking, what's the inspiration? I'm moving fast and telling me,
music started for me with drums. I just happened to be the guy who plays drums at church. And then from there, I was part of the choir. Of course, I have to be part of the choir in order to be able to play the drum. So I started that. And later on, I started singing with the choir. And singing wasn't really my thing, really, because I just felt like it wasn't easy for me to do. I had to put in a lot more than I wanted to. And so a friend of mine who we happened to put we happened to we came up with a group, like a music group together, and then we were working together at that time. So he taught me how to rap. Like, he was the first person who introduced rap to me. Rap didn't start for me like listening to songs from other rappers, then I mime and stuff. No, it didn't start for me that way. Here was a friend who wrote a verse and decided to teach it to me, and then I learned, and from there I started writing my own thing. So it's been an evolving process for me, like from the drum to rapping and singing, and then to music production. So spoken word came. It's always been, you know, because I kind of like put a lot of priority on my words. So when I'm not doing it with the beat, and you know, sometimes I'm in some places and I feel like this audience may not really connect with the rap, and I take it in a spoken word style. So that kind of like just came because, I mean, everybody started talking spoken word, started popping and stuff. So I thought it was only cool to just get into that also. So that's how music has been for me. Music in Nigeria, Christian music in Nigeria, hip hop in Nigeria. The question as to where we ought to be and where we are now is a very broad question. And I'd say we're right where we want to be. And this is my take. You see, when people work together and they have a common goal, then we all know that, okay, this is what we're pressing towards and this is what we intend to achieve. So if we have that sort of picture in mind, which we all are in agreement with, we kind of like, it will be easy to say, okay, this is what we kind of envisage, this is what we've envisioned in our hearts, and this is, we're not there yet. But we don't really have that. We don't really have that unity and stuff. So I think we're just where we want to be. Really, if you ask me, if I want to be sincere with you. Now, on the flip side, yes, everybody wants to do better. But given the environment that you are in, you know that there are certain things that are kind of like beyond you. Do you get? So you're really pushing hard, but you know that you're playing your part. But if the other man who's manning the next post is not doing what he's supposed to do, then you know that it's going to affect others. Now, this is not to say, this is not to make some excuse or whatever. I just feel that everybody is trying to push, do their thing. Unity is good, but we're not there yet with the unity thing. It's been a problem, you know, but I do hope that things can get better, you know, but I just think the reality on ground is we're right where we want to be. Okay, challenges doing music. There are still challenges doing music. Even when you blow, in quote, there still will be challenges. And trust me, if you were facing challenges when you were not really established, what you face when you're established is going to be like 10 times more. So that's life. Now, are there challenges? Yes, there are challenges. Your funding is never enough. Trust me. Music is such that if you throw 10 million at it, it will collect it and they'll be looking at you like, yo, what's up? Bring it on. That's what music is. And then sometimes, you know, it's not like other ventures where you can just project and be like in a space of 6 months, if I put this into it, you know, it's gonna pop and I'm gonna get this back in return. Music it's not like that, okay? But at the same time, there are some things you can do and you know, you see progress and all of that, you know, that's how music is. But you see, one of the major challenges of music for a creative like myself is funding is never enough. I wish money can pop like the idea pops. Like the idea pops and then my head is all over the place. Yo, we'll shoot on the moon, we'll go to the stars, and then we'll shoot, you know, all those kind of things. It's just popping in your mind. But then you know that you're going to have to deal with raising funds, resources, and all of that stuff. And you know that you don't really have that yet. So there's that part of it. of the challenges of music, and then finding the right team, finding the right hands. That's another part of the music that you really need to figure out, because trust me, you cannot do everything yourself, right? I had to roll my sleeves at some point and get into other aspects of music, right? I produce, and I'm also into music distribution, like getting music on all the right platforms so that people can earn from it. I had to go into all of those ventures so that I can make something back in return to put into my music. You get? So at the end of the day, you have to be resourceful. Try to think about creative. As a creative, because you're a creative, you always think about ways around that situation that you are in. You get? Like you want to carry out a creative project and you know that it's going to take XYZ to execute, but you know you don't have that yet, so you're going to have to rely on that weapon that you have, which is creativity, to see how you can you won't spend as much, but still you'll be able to gain something really solid in return. So there is the funding, there is the right hands to work with, there is back in the day there was the challenge of having to convince my people, that's my family, that this is what I want to do, but none of that is an issue now. So there is that. Used to be a challenge, but now no more. And also the challenge of your inner self, wanting to outdo your previous efforts, not wanting to stop second guessing yourself, you know, because music can do crazy stuff to you, you know. You put out a song, everybody loves it, and then you're thinking that this new song that you're working on, is it going to surpass the previous one you put out? Will people really identify with it? Do you get? And sometimes if you allow yourself get carried away, you begin to compare yourself with other people, and if you're not doing as good as others, you can become depressed, you know. So music is it's heavy. I know people have how they have dates about how they got saved, and then they will celebrate their birthday and celebrate the day they got saved and give their life to Christ and blah blah blah. I think I grew up in a Christian home, so I've always believed in Jesus all my life. I cannot remember the exact day, and I gave my life to Christ. For every time I heard the preacher on TV deliver a very emotional message, I was already giving my life to Christ over again. You know, that was pretty much my life, like growing up. So I don't really know how I can pull a salvation story. I just know that I've always known Jesus. I just loved the story. I believed in it, and I lived like that. But there's this experience I had. On one very wonderful evening, I was playing football outside, and it was beautiful football, by the way. So at some point I took a break, went inside the house. I wanted to get water to drink, so I got into the kitchen. I was taking water, and I see that mommy had fried dodo, like well dished. It was sitting there on the table waiting for me to put my hands into it, and I did. I put my hands into it. So I picked two, went back. I said, don't do that again, blah blah blah, I won't touch it, blah, blah, blah. So I went back to the football, and I was playing football. And next minute I'm back in the kitchen, pick another two, go back outside, play football, come back, pick another two, go back outside, play football, come back. Why pick two when I can pick three, go back? And before you know it, I came back and there remained two in the plate, and I was like, hi God, I'm dead. Like, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I will leave these two and I won't touch it. So I went outside back, played football, and why would I eat all the plantain and now leave two? It doesn't make sense. So I went and I finished the deal. So, I mean, beautiful, successful operation. That night, mommy gathered everybody to the room. And my mom is good with the cane. So she was bent on, she was going to flog us. And my usual self, whenever I do stuff like that, I won't say pim. I think maybe I should work with the military. It will be really difficult to break me. So I was in the room, everybody was waiting. We were already crying because we know mommy will beat something out of us tonight. And I wasn't going to tell them I was the one. So I was there waiting for mommy to get done because she's a fashion designer and she had to deal with a customer. So while she was finishing up with the customer, I went on this guilt trip, and I eventually said, told myself and I told God that, God, if you deliver me from this, I'm sold out. It's you, me and you forever. So you want a salvation story? That's what my salvation story sounds like. So I told God that if he makes my mom forget this affair, like she comes back, she doesn't beat us and blah blah blah, of course I would be sold out to him. So my mom came back and she let the thing go. She didn't even talk about it, she didn't even ask. But before then I told my siblings that I was the one who ate the whole thing, and I think they told her, so she didn't even bother asking what it was, and she didn't beat me for it. So I mean, me and Jesus have been cool since. My creative vision is live, love, inspire. I've been searching for these words for a long time. Apparently, I've been searching for it all my life. I believe in creating platforms for people, not just being an artist, but being able to, engage people, give them a platform to, showcase their gifts to the world and stuff. And I've always been about that. So I came up with some vision at the time, and I can't even remember what it is because it was just too lengthy. I couldn't even learn the words. So when Live, Love, Inspire popped in my mind, I knew this is it. It pretty much sums up what I want to do. So when you encounter Gamie, you encounter life, you encounter love, you encounter inspiration. I'm going to leave you with those three things when you encounter Gamie, because that's really my message. That's my message to the world. Yo, what's up, everybody? Just want to say big ups to everybody supporting me. You guys are the reason why we do what we do, why I do what I do. There wouldn't be me without you. I mean, how would I play for myself? It wouldn't make any sense, I'm just playing around. But I just want to say thank you for all the support, and I also want to say thanks to X2D. Man, I've known X2D since like forever, such a wonderful platform to preach the gospel and to send out a very positive message to the world. Big ups to X2D for this opportunity to come here and to share my story with you guys, and I hope you guys are inspired. So I just want to say thank you, thank God for this gift, and that's what it is. My name is Gamie.